Africans are brought up to be self-sufficient. Same thing as so many Asians as well. All we just need is just a better lifestyle, some space. We don't mean to hurt anybody or to replace anyone or to make anyone feel less of themselves. So many people who live in this country, so many citizens in this Western world can't even afford to pay for the education the way so many migrants are doing. Hello, and you're welcome to today's episode on Life's Flavor podcast. My name is Omolara Shereje, and I am the host on this channel. And thank you very much for joining. If you are just watching this channel for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe. And please always, look out for our videos because I am really counting on you. Without you, there's nothing we're doing here. Thank you very much once again, and God bless you for being kind to share the videos. Right, so in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about I'll be talking more about the Japa situation and what is currently happening in the UK and across the world, how people are being treated, how migrants are being treated. So let's get into the topic. So, in the previous episode, I was with my friends, Esther, Dami, Ruth, and Angela. Now, Esther, they all shared, they all shared very interesting experiences and reason why most of them migrated to the UK. Now, there are so many people with different stories that brought about the reason for their migration. And there are some who migrated basically because of insecurity, basically because of one disaster or the other that moved them to the UK and other parts of the world. And based on this, many people, when we have experienced the good things that are happening in the Western world, even though we're struggling to adjust and all that, many of us have realized that the lifestyle in the outside world is giving us what we want as individuals and as elites from our countries and people who are educated and who have a lot of value to give the society wherever we find ourselves. So these reasons are one of the things that have really triggered many people to actually migrate. Unfortunately, outside the countries, outside the shores of different countries, people in the countries where we all migrate to, even as blacks or as colored people, they see us as like we are there in their country just to milk the country dry, just to enjoy the benefits that we are getting from the countries, and just to get different things from the countries. Unfortunately, most of these countries have stated it clear while we are migrating that we are not entitled to public funds and all other things like that. Many people are not even bothered. We don't even want the public funds. All we just want is some safety, some security, some good, some value for whatever we're paying for. Because for all I know, as a Nigerian, who have lived in Nigeria for a very long time, many people spend so much paying on electricity bills, paying for different things, but we don't get value for what we are paying for. And being here in the Western world, and we have discovered that you pay and you get energy, constant energy, constant supply for energy, and all these things. And you pay for tax, you pay for council tax, you pay for different types of taxes, and you see these things being put to work. But unfortunately, due to the situation from our countries and different places where we're coming from, these things don't work out. And we're only asking for some space, for some friendliness, for some kindness, for some support from the different communities where we find ourselves as migrants. We are not here to milk anybody's economy dry. Rather, we are contributors to the economy. What these countries don't even realize is that most of these, most of us as migrants, we bring positive contributions to the society. Even the children we are raising in the future, they're definitely going to contribute positively to the economy. We are not in these societies just because they're going to give us benefits, just because they're going to give us one thing or the other. Not at all. Yes, probably when we first of all arrive, we might have, one challenge or the other, settling down. We might have one challenge or the other, getting things right, adjusting the lifestyle, getting our children balanced and all that. Maybe in this situation, maybe we may need a few things that are definitely not public funds. However, We just want people to change that perception of us migrants being, focusing on only the public funds that are being given. Yes, when we're talking about refugees, are actually like people who are victims of, displacement and all that because of war and this and that. And many of the migrants that are actually being pointed out as people benefiting are actually not these refugees. Because, I mean, when these societies bring in these refugees, they don't actually talk to them, they don't. But migrants who are working, who are paying taxes, who are actually starting businesses, who are doing things the most positive way whatsoever while they are staying in these societies, unfortunately, they are being, threatened by one thing or the other. Even the government is bringing out strict measures to just frustrate what they are doing. And the government, instead of recognizing these migrants as great and positive contributors, see these same migrants as a threat. Now, there are jobs that so many citizens of the countries that migrants go into, there are jobs that so many citizens won't take up. Migrants will humbly take these jobs, will diligently do these jobs, and then they are less appreciated. The time has come for these countries, the Western world, to appreciate what migrants are doing. The time has come for the Western world to define who they are actually directing these threats to. I mean, the jobs that are being taken up by the people that, by migrants, these jobs are actually jobs that are there hanging that no one is taking. Yet, they are still seen as a threat. How? I wonder what is happening in the minds of so many people out there seeing migrants as threats. How many times have migrants queued to take so many things such as public funds that we are talking about? Many migrants pay for rent, they pay for the food they eat, they pay for energy, they pay for so many things, and they don't even drag to get, they don't drag to get public funds. Probably when you see some migrants who are probably on the edge and they are seeking help from the government, they may actually be like really and seriously in need of this help because of certain situations that probably they might just need it as a temporary, support. Many migrants from wherever we're coming as Africans are used to living in a way like they are to be self-sufficient. Africans are brought up to be self-sufficient. Same thing as so many Asians as well. All we just need is just a better lifestyle, some space to do something good and contribute positively to the society we're finding ourselves, some space to be welcomed, some space to feel good about ourselves. We don't mean to hurt anybody or to replace anyone or to make anyone feel less of themselves. If you actually are able to apply for a job as a citizen, why don't you apply? Why do you see migrants as a threat? If you take up those jobs, migrants won't be there to actually take it with you. However, it's important for individuals to also look on the bright side about the contributions that migrants have brought. Even when we're talking about migrating alone, it costs a lot of money. Yet many people go all the way to actually scale these hurdles. It takes a lot of money to migrate. So many people who live in these countries, so many citizens in this Western world can't even afford to pay for the education the way so many migrants are doing. Yet we still do these things. All because we just want to live a better life. All because we just want some sense of belonging. All because we just want to feel more appreciated. Yet, what do migrants get in return? This is an appeal to the government of the Western world, wherever they are, wherever these countries are, or whoever the government parastatals, the individuals in government, the individuals in power are. Please, please, and please, you need to actually look into these matters, not just by what is being discussed in your parliament because of unnecessary sentiments of some politicians who actually brandish themselves as people who are supporting the masses in the countries. Rather, they are pushing racist moves, they are pushing mean ideologies to the government, all because they just want to speak on behalf of people who refuse to understand the beauty in diversity, the beauty in inclusivity, and the beauty in, what the world has become today. There is something that we all need to understand. There's a new normal. Migration is a culture of people, and it cannot be stopped. It's been happening for decades. It's been happening for so many generations, and it is not going to be. It's not going to be something that will just stop in the flash. Why? Because even back then, in the colonial eras, the colonial masters migrated to the different places where they colonized people. And guess what? The people they colonized have not been able to uproot them till today. We don't even realize we're not even thinking of seeing them as a threat. So now, when the colonial masters migrated and they went to different colonies, took resources for free without paying the right ways back, yet they still have access to these resources till today, and no one is talking about it. The countries where they're taking the resources are not seeing them as a threat, yet these countries, the citizens, are coming back to these countries of the colonial masters, and they are being seen as a threat. I don't know how this is playing out, but these are things that we all need to realize, that this is something that has been happening over time, and it should not be seen as something negative. No one is being accused of stealing anymore. However, the people that are now migrating are the ones who are being seen as a threat. Migrants are never a threat, and they can't be a threat to the economy of countries that they are working and contributing, paying taxes, and all of that. They cannot be a threat. We all need to go back to our drawing board, sit down, and realize that these things are not the ways to put things together. Talking about migration and all of that. The world needs to understand that migrants bring good to different countries, except if they have other things in mind. However, the main migrants who migrate, you know intentionally pay money to migrate, should be respected. Rather, they should be respected. Every migrant who has paid through their noses just to relocate to a country or the other should be respected and not be abused. Not by the government, not by the people. Why? Because they are there to actually make a living. And for us Africans, whenever people from the Western world come to our country, we open our arms to them, we welcome them, we make them feel appreciated. I think the time has come for us to also feel appreciated as well, for migrants from Africa and other parts of the world to feel appreciated, to feel loved, to feel cared for, and to feel needed as well. Right, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please always tune in to my channel and always engage as well. Don't forget, please destroy the like button. Destroy the like button. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.